Conversation. That's right. That's right. So today we're talking about. No, that's fine. Today we're talking about something that's suggested by the Gospels, which is, what is it to be a leader among those who are called by Christ? And we have with us today Susan Rain, and I'm handing the mic to her to tell us, now that I've told your secret, your name, how long have you been with St. Stephen's?
So I am Susan Rain, and I have been here at St. Stephen's with my husband, Chris, since 2017. We moved into the neighborhood and on a Tuesday and walked down the street on Easter Sunday, happened to be 5 days later, and we said, wow, okay, this is the kind of place we think we want to be. And the wonderful Laura Thewalt was the very first person to ever speak to us at St. Stephen's, and we will be forever grateful as she made us feel so welcome.
Sorry, I was late. What was the question? Oh, I'm Marguerite Trent. I've been here since before Lisa, but there was not a rector at the time. They had same thing as what's going on now was going on when we started.
So it's been a while. It's been a while for both of you, actually. Congratulations. Good. Wonderful. What was it about St. Stephen's that attracted you both to be here?
Well, I had never, in the now almost 30 years I've been in Houston, found a church home where I felt very comfortable and that I really enjoyed. And coming here into this wonderful community who is so open and welcoming and just clearly here together to worship and enjoy each other's fellowship meant everything to us. And that fateful Sunday, Easter Sunday in 2017, led to us being married right on the spot that Labor Day. So it was really, really life-changing for us.
I have been an Episcopalian all my life. One of those weird people that was born in this church and is still here. But the church, we were in a transition phase, and I specifically was looking for an Episcopal church that was going to stay an Episcopal church, because when we're talking that many years ago, we're talking about a time when there was a lot of, I want to say, chaos going on about, is the church going to split? Are we going to do? And I wanted to go somewhere where we were going to stay part of the Episcopal Church, because I always felt that our broad depth of accepting all sorts of ideas and all sorts of people was part of what I really liked about the church, and I didn't want to go somewhere that would say, okay, if you don't believe X, Y, Z, then you're not part of us.
You know, Marguerite, that leads me to think of Robin Williams. You all remember Robin Williams, the comedian? Well, he had a piece that's on the back of a T-shirt that I have. It's called 10 Reasons to Become an Episcopalian. And one of them is, no matter what you believe, you're bound to find another Episcopalian who believes what you do. So, among other things. And both of you have found leadership positions in this congregation and also in your professional life. And Susan, would you talk a little bit about that in the church, and Marguerite, and then we'll talk about your professional life a bit.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and combine them if that's okay. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an obstetrician, and I have been at Baylor College of Medicine my entire career, going on 20 years, and I am comfortable there, and I'm comfortable being a leader there. And when I started to engage in leadership here, I wasn't comfortable. I thought I didn't have the skill set. I thought I wouldn't be good at it. And it was such a pleasure. My very first experience, I volunteered to do stewardship. And for someone who really does not like asking people for money, that was a very bizarre choice. And, but I really wanted to meet people, and I wanted to become more of a part of this community. And the very first person I met doing that work was Cassandra Khatri, and I just thought to myself, wow, I would maybe not have ever known this woman, and this is amazing. And then I volunteered for stewardship again. I don't know. And I said this earlier at the 8:30, but as also a cradle Episcopalian, I made the very, very big mistake of saying, I would like to get more involved. The first thing Chris said to me was, you will be on the vestry within the year. And he was right. And so that's really where I had to stretch myself a bit. I started on vestry, and my term just ended this past January. I was the senior warden for the 2 years before that. And I remember when Lisa asked me to serve in that role, I panicked and I said, I don't know how that is helpful to you at all. And she said, trust me, it will be helpful. And it was one of the great pleasures to serve in that capacity in this church, and God bless Dave Morrell for taking over and doing what he's doing.
So as far as leadership in the church, I love working with children. That's kind of where my gift is. I am a preschool teacher. I love telling stories to kids. I love talking to kids, playing with kids, knowing who they are. So, I ended up as part of children's worship because I just like telling Bible stories. I just finished telling the story of Job. So, and poor Job and all of his children. It was more, well, how many kids does he have? I'm like, a lot. So that's what I do. So that's how I kind of ended up doing what I'm doing here. And at work, I end up helping out other people by helping them find resources and things to work with, because my new school that I am at is using what for them is a new curriculum. It's not new. It's been around for over 5 years. I know, because I taught it at my previous work. So I've kind of become the go-to person for, I don't know how this works. Let me show, and I'm like, let me show you. You need resources. I know where to find them online. You need to know about how this works. I can find it. Oh, that doesn't work for you? Well, this is how you change it, and still keep the integrity of what you're doing. So I've kind of just become point person.
Well, it sounds to me like both of you are point people. You point people to where they can improve things for themselves and for their audience, whether it's the vestry, whether it's a group of other doctors or teachers or students. That fits in to me with the whole concept of what it is to be a person involved in what you're doing at church and involved at what you're doing in your professional lives. You both have that ability to do that. Where do you think that comes from in your soul, I might say? Where is that? Not all people can do that.
So that's a very difficult question that I've actually never really considered, so I'll do my best. I think it probably, for me, was the support and really unconditional support and love I had from my family, which is a really good thing because my brothers were really mean to me. And but my father, who is not the most demonstrative man in the universe, but I've never questioned the depth of his love for me, told me from the time that I remember, you can do anything you want. And that's all he ever said to me. I don't care what it is. Everything you do will make us proud. You can do anything you want. And that frees you to be open to everything. So I think that's probably the root of it.
I want to say from God, but that's a short answer. The long answer is my family is lousy with educators. And so education was kind of one of those things, but my mom and dad tried really hard to get me not to be a teacher until I told them I was going to be a history major, and they said, why? And I said, because I like history stories. And my mother was like, let's circle back to this education idea. Because the only thing I can think of for you to do with a history degree is either be a teacher, one, or two, be a lawyer, and I can't see you doing that. And neither could I, by the way. So the other thing, especially about me feeling that this is really where I was my grandfather once got into an argument with somebody at his church. I may have been born Episcopalian. My grandfather was born a Methodist. So, and at his Sunday school, somebody said that Episcopalians didn't know the Bible, and he said, I'm going to put you against my granddaughter any day of the week, and she'll win. And I thought, uh-oh. But, I mean, it really did make me feel like, other people were noticing, and at least my family supported what I was doing.
Well, from what you both have said, you had people in your lives who were supportive, encouraging to you, and opened up vistas for you, and allowed you and supported you through that time, allowed you to do what you were called to do from wherever that comes. That's sometimes hard to understand until you're actually in it, doing it, which you have been doing it for many years. And so that's what I look at the folks there at St. Stephen's Parish, and you are supportive and encouraging people. And so we all ended up in a bucket of honey, as it were. So I want to thank you both for being here today and participating in that and letting us get to know you better and support you in what you do. Thank you so much.